35-hour work week, strikes, astronomical tax, super rich fleeing the country and getting citizenship abroad. That's what we hear about France, and it sounds like bad news for the economy. But with a cabinet reshuffle, is there light at the end of the Eurotunnel? With me now is Gaspard Koenig, founder of the French think tank GenerationLibre. Gaspard, the new economy minister, Emmanuel Macron, said France is sick and there's no choice but reform. So what's the country's ailments?
The welfare state, which has been created after the war, probably for good reasons at that time, has grown out of control. Public spending, for instance, GDP, is 57%, which makes it the 7th largest in the world, after countries such as Cuba or Lesotho. France is really doing extremely badly in terms of its public sector. Another thing which is linked to that is weight of public investment in the country. France has built a tradition of public sector, which in itself is not bad, it's healthy, but is now tied with so many regulations, is stifled by so many statutes that it is paralyzing our economy.
Well, François Hollande, he's the man who introduced 75% tax on the rich. That can't help the situation. So what was he thinking?
It's a symbolic measure. You have to bear in mind also that, for instance, tax income in France only makes up for 15% of the state tax revenues. So people are always arguing passionately about the income tax, but it's a marginal fraction of the tax that the state actually takes on people. It's just that they don't see it. It's a typical political trap because it created enormous debate. It clearly tilted the election for François Hollande, because people thought, oh, finally this guy has guts. And it is just unimplementable and actually not implemented at all. And this is the kind of reform they don't want to do because they know this is stupid.
The French do have a reputation for being a bit work shy with their 35-hour work weeks. Do you think this is fair?
Exactly like the 55% tax. The 35-hour week is merely symbolical and doesn't have much effect in the daily behavior of workers. So the average time that French workers do work in a week is 39.5 hours, which makes France among the 20 top countries where people work the most. And the productivity of workers is the third in the world.
So why then did it ruffle so many feathers when Macron suggested abolishing the 35-hour work week?
Now, most of the people behind the scene exactly know what needs to be done, but very few people can stand up politically to that, and very few people have the courage to confront the unions, and I would say to confront the system. I was a speechwriter for Christine Lagarde for 2 years when she was Treasury Minister. I got to see a lot of those meetings, and I think France is very corrupt, and at the top of it, especially in the public sector or para-public sector, you have many people who hold each other. It's extremely difficult where you don't have a clear mandate. The only person who would be able to break those corporations is a president clearly elected with a clear majority and a clear mandate.
Well, finally, how does France compare to more healthy economies such as Germany and maybe even the UK, which is slated to take France's place as the 5th largest economy in the world by 2020?
Yeah, it's been some years, if not decades, that the UK is supposed to overtake us. So I think we have a bit of time, and we don't forget the UK is the old fool, so we still have some pride. You know, what really amazes me is that France is such a wealthy country compared to the UK, especially when you live in the UK, when you drive through the UK. It's a country that really made a lot out of very little, because they took risks, because they encouraged people to come from abroad and to help them build an economy, because they proved to be rather pragmatic. And in France, it seems we're so jaded. We have everything at home. We have a country which is rather healthy economically. We have people who are well educated, good infrastructure, and we mess that up with very, very, very bad policies. And that's extremely frustrating, and this is part of the reasons why so many people are active in order to turn that around, because we feel we have incredible assets and they're about to get lost if we don't react quite urgently.
Gaspard, thank you.
Thank you, Jenny.